So I feel like that energy got into my husband because I asked him why did he renege? We were playing spades. So why did he renege? And then he just he went crazy. Oh, you ain't gonna treat me like that, like that, like it felt like he wanted to prove to the dude that, like, oh yeah, she can't treat me the way her sister treats you, kind of thing. And I was like, and in all of this, now mind you, like I said, they were drinking and he was drinking, everything like that. But uh, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just asking you a question. But he's irate. Oh no, 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 getting real nasty and everything. And then I forgot what happened. I think he threw a drink on me. I believe he threw it. Yes. And I was like, wait, what the crap? Blah blah blah. And then we got up and we're tussling. I think we were tussling at first. I ran to the back and I put on my Timberlands. If you know about New York City, you know. But I'm throwing my Timberlands and like, cause like I said, although he was able to always overpower me, I just never let him beat me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, you know. So with by the time I'm getting there's a hallway from my bedroom, like in the apartment there's a hallway. My bedroom is in the back, so I come, but by the time I get by the kitchen, which is by the door in the living room where we were at, he's there ready to fight and everything like that. So we're tussling and everything like that. He's not really throwing punches or anything like that. And we end up my sister did try to, like, she tried to intervene, but not it, she tried to intervene, but it was like you might as well had just threw a feather in there. So she just like did she just basically tried to grab us apart, but that didn't work, and she gave up. And they both let us fight. This is my biological sister. So, like I said, we fell to the couch. And tussle and everything like that. She like I can hear her saying, I can't do nothing with them. You're supposed to be helping me. Like I'm your sister, you know. But anywho, and then we got up. Once we got up, I forgot how we even got up, but we're slipping on Hennessy everywhere. Now, mind you, he falls first. I grabbed the bottle, the Hennessy bottle, and I hit him on the head with it. But this is the thing. I didn't hit him. I hit him with passion. Let me just say that. With compassion. I didn't hit him to to hurt him, like to do damage. Clearly I didn't, because it was just like a real boop, whatever, and everything like that, and we fighting and everything, and it just was disgusting. you know I called the police. They never came that day, and everything calmed down. My sister and them left. I don't remember that part of like what was said, anything, but they left and things calmed down. I was crying, yeah, but things calmed down eventually. And I think I slept on the sofa that night. There was a lot of nights where I slept on the sofa. I started writing. I started writing. Well, I was writing before that. Years before that, I was writing poems and stuff, like at my mother's house and things like that. I don't know what happened to those poems, but anyway, when I got there, that's when I really started writing again. Well, nope, I started writing when I was living with his parents and things like that. I started writing again. That's when I started writing again, but I started writing more poems and things like that, and just stories, about my life, or just about places I wanted to go, like, just different things and everything. And I would do most of it sleeping on the couch. Now, this is the crazy thing. Like, every time I slept on the couch, he would come and be sneaking out there as if I'm like sneaking somebody in. Like, he told me, I thought I heard the door. There was a time, he was like, I thought I heard the door. Our door was squeaky. If I open this door, we're not in a big mansion. You're gonna hear the door. Just was it just was a lot, and it drained me. And mental health comes out. Like I said in one of my previous videos, it's like a balloon. You keep blowing up that balloon, eventually it's gonna pop, and that's what stress does. It escalates. Constant stress, it escalates, and that's what he was basically doing to me, stressing me the hell out. And it's a yeah, that was like a part of it. Well, the one of our last fights was um yeah, one of our last fights. How did it start? Oh, I was standing in the lobby waiting for the kids to come home. We lived just a few feet away from the school, like literally across the street. And I was waiting for them to come home, but I see him come in the building, and he just gave me this look like, and I'm just like, I looked at him like, what the heck was that? Like, the look was like no other. And I just ignored. After I initially was like, well, ew, like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, what? You're not looking at me like a wife. You're looking at me like I was someone that stole your money or did something to you horribly wrong. All the while I'm standing in the lobby of the building waiting for my kids to get home from school. So I get the kids, we go upstairs. Now, mind you, I have the baby too, you know. We go upstairs, and I open the door, and he's talking about something. I don't even know, something other. Yeah, you da da da. Basically about like cheated, like all of this accusations, because that's what he was doing, the whole time. Because mind you, in one of my previous videos, I discussed how I was laying in the bed, just freshly giving birth. I just finished giving birth to his last child, our last child, and he was with another woman. Okay. So I get in the house. I'm trying to, I'm unbuckling baby, moving the plastic, things like that. He just talking, da da da, and everything. And I'm just not really, trying to engage in that. And he hit me. That's what happened. And I got up, and we're tussling again, fighting and everything. Um, like if it wasn't for my son moving my baby, we would have fell on her. We would have killed her, my youngest child. We would have. She was still in the stroller when he attacked me, and we started fighting and things like that. And I told this in previous videos, but in a previous one of, I think one of my the first three videos, one of them, and we started tussling, fighting, and everything like that. He pushed me, and I fell to the couch. Um, and then he just began to pound on me, things like that. Um, and I remember saying, "Okay, okay, okay," and I guess he realized, he looked at me, and he was kind of like, um, not me knowing I had knots on my head and everything like that, but he could have killed me if he would have kept doing that. I could hear my kids screaming and everything like that. Whatever the case may be, I'm not trying to, because I'm getting emotional. But long story short, I wanted to take him out. I tried to take when I got up, tried to take the lamb cord, wrap it around his neck, because I remember him telling me he was going to unalive me. And at that point, although my kids, it was that I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about, I just wanted to take him out. So I was trying to do that. I don't know. I had extra strength. I just know that. And he was trying his best not to let me get it around his neck. And then, like, my neighbors was there by then. Someone had called the cops, probably my oldest child. And of course, he tried to leave, and I threw a hammer at him, but the hammer mallet part went over his head. You know, and I was surprised. Everybody was just pretty much surprised, because I guess they were like, "What the heck? This is a hammer I used all the time. Never had any problems." But like someone told me, because I said, God saved him. But someone told me God saved me because I wouldn't have been there for my kids. And then who would my kids have? He would have been dead. My kids wouldn't have had nobody. They would have been in probably worse predicaments. So God saved me. And that day the cops came, took pictures of my face and everything like that. And that was really pretty much it. That was the last. Oh no, ain't no coming back here. My kids crying and screaming and everything. I had to go to the hospital, make sure I didn't have a concussion, things like that. They arrested him. Of course, he ran to Mommy Davis' house. They arrested him. And they brought a picture to identify him. He looking like a fucking sad puppy in the picture. I didn't give a crying out loud fuck. You're going to jail. Yeah, that's him. Arrest him. I went and pressed all the charges. I went and got a what do you call that? Order of protection, things like that. I was done. I was done after that. And yeah, so um I went on to try to do I did well. Let me just say that as a single parent because he wasn't doing anything in the first place. When I tell you his parents literally was helping manipulate, and I don't want to say the father, I don't want to say my kid's grandfather. I'm talking about the mother. She was a trifling. She's still trifling to this day. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. She's still trifling to this day because she ruined the relationship with my children. She ruined relationship with one or at least one of my children over the fact that um she wanted him. Now, mind you, my child he's 29, and she wanted him to talk every day on the phone all day to one of the other grandchildren from the other son, and this just which is a child, and he didn't want to do that, so she got upset and stopped speaking to one of my son. Just trifling. But let me just tell you, she would claim me between her. I believe her husband probably did too, but she would claim me and my kids now, and I'm talking about 4 kids. Okay, so I'm pretty sure they split 2 and 2, but they would claim the kids and give me $400 out of claiming my kids at the time. This was years ago. I just said 29 years ago. 20 no, about 25 years ago. When the going was good, the money was good. So now just think about this. They're claiming my kids. They're getting thousands and thousands of dollars. Gave me $400. Was giving this day trifling son money out of my money, and also buying Christmas gifts, buying ice creams for birthdays and things like that. All the while, I'm thinking, what great parents, what great parents what great grandparents they come in and buy clothes, toys, things like that for holidays, and all the while they're really just spending the money that from the taxes. They're not giving, like, they're not just like being upstanding great grandparent, great, what I'm saying, grandparents. They're doing the bare minimum. So was he signing his name to all of the gifts and got a job in the first. So yeah, that's why he was trifling, because he was allowed to be trifling, allowed to not take accountability, and so was the parents. So I say this to say, you know, sometimes we can allow people or let people unknowingly and steal our joy, take our power. You know, in my case, it was in hopes of saving my family. Like I had a man, in the black community, in the black family, you know, oftentimes there is no father. I was trying to preserve that for my children under any circumstances. But when it came down to me wanting to, now I want to take him out and I had all kinds of thoughts in my head about it, and you caused me anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and all, well, furthered, you know, the abuse emotionally, physically, and mentally, that you basically continued the abuse, from where my childhood. You just came and furthered it along, so I was like, I have to change this. I have to change this. These kids should not be seeing this, and I'm just going to say this. This is a very such touchy subject. I will eventually tell you guys the relationship with me and my children, and things that they've endured due to seeing the abuse. Um, so I thank you guys for joining me. Please like and subscribe and comment. And I hope that by me telling my story, I yeah, I'm not getting thousands of views and things like that, but you know what? This is therapeutical for me, as well as I want it to be empowering for someone else. That's why I'm still telling this story, my story. It is not a popular niche on YouTube, things like that, but I want it to be more so than popular, inspiring, and just someone to get it, if anything out of it. That's why I share, my stories. That's why I share information, and just things like that, because I want somebody to get something out of this. But thank you so much, guys, and I will talk to you beautiful souls later.